really good night for our football team and a great team effort. I'd like to thank our players, because players win games. The way they prepped this week, the effort that they gave to, go get a hard road win. I'm so proud of them and thankful for them. I also like to thank our coaching staff. That's about as hard a week as you could possibly have and possibly imagine. And for a group of men to hold together and say, hey, let's go get this one. Let's go have a great November. I'd like to thank those two groups. Overall, from a defensive standpoint, I thought, this group holding the defensive front, holding the rushing game, I think it was to 47 yards and getting 6 sacks, I thought was huge, especially in the second half. We have a sudden change in the plus territory, and they come out with no points. And then I thought the story on offense was really the offensive line. This guy right here was Ced and Levi. Over 200 yards for Ced, 100 yards for Vi. I thought that the big men really took control of the game tonight, both offensively and defensively. And it's a big man's game. So we've got one win in November. Going to fight like hell to go get another one next week against a good Cal team. With that, we'll take any questions that you have.
Clay, what was it like being back as the play caller and being the head coach and play caller? You haven't done it in a couple of years. Mm-hmm. So what was that like for you tonight?
It's something that is natural. I've done it a bunch over my career, and it's something that I'm very fortunate to have unbelievable people around me. I thought T was phenomenal in the box, being my eyes. The information that I got made it extremely easy, but it felt natural. It felt natural. It's one game, and we'll try to get better and do even better for next one.
Without the benefit of the film, were there any little things that you noticed with the offensive line that already seemed to be improved? I really thought that when it was time to run the ball in the second half and in the game, that they took it over. And that's what you want from your offensive line. You want a physically dominant end of a fourth quarter, and that's what it was. And I thought that they controlled the football game. I can't wait to watch the tape because the one thing that just felt like I didn't feel like anybody was ever in the backfield. There was no penetration in the run game. And that's huge for runners. It allows you to stretch and cut off those combination blocks. And I thought Ced, Vi, and Steven, while he was in, did an exceptional job.
Is there any update on Stephen Carr and Michael Pittman?
No, Mike suffered a shoulder. Steven suffered lower body. I'll have more information tomorrow night, but both had to leave the game due to injury.
Ced, just what led to your success tonight? 200 yards, 3 scores. What was going right, with the run game?
The O-line. They did their thing today, man. Every time the run game is going good, it's because of them. So I give them all the praise and God. They did their thing, man.
Christian, what are some of the factors that you think led to you having a big game tonight?
I'd say stopping the run was huge. Coach Clancy made it a big emphasis earlier in the week. Trying to hold them under 100 yards, and these last 4 games especially, if we hold each team under 100 yards, we're gonna have a good chance to win. And then later in the week on Thursday, he said, I'm gonna make it 75 yards. Let's hold them under 75 yards. And then we look up at halftime and they had negative yards. So that was huge, forcing third and long situations and being able to get off the field.
Ced, what's it like to break through and then realize you've got a couple of options and you can just keep running? What's that feeling like?
It feels good, man. Feel those runs I ran through untouched. So when you run it free like that, it feels good, man. It just feels like this open field. You just gotta go.
It must feel real good because you start dancing at the end.
Clay, you mentioned nobody being in the backfield. Why do you think that was? Because that's kind of been a recurring thing earlier in the year.
I thought the offensive line really in this week of practice took it to heart that they wanted to control the game, and it's so easy as a play caller when the run is going because it sets up so many other opportunities. So proud for Devin Williams to get involved tonight, to get his opportunity, make some big plays. But when that running game is going, it makes it so much easier. It was an easy night when that's happening. At least he's smiling.
Could you have run even more, or were you trying to get Jake King to a rhythm coming back off the injury?
No, I think at the end of the day, let me see what we got. We went 44 rushes to 26 passes. I think some of that at the end is because you're up and you're finishing the game off. But I thought it was a nice balance, especially the first half. It was a mixture of run and pass, and guys were being effective. Amon-Ra comes off with 5 catchers. Devin gets some hits. Tyler Vaughns does. So it was a good job of spreading the ball around and running the ball. It was a good balance tonight.
I know, Clint, I know you've said Toa's snaps haven't been a concern for you up until this point. Is that still the case?
I really thought, we went to the dead ball, which has really been effective over the last couple of weeks. And I'll have to go back and watch the tape, but we changed his grip on the ball a couple of weeks ago. It really has been a lot more effective, a lot more center line. And we had 2 that were off tonight. And he even said, he said, Coach, I dragged it and pulled it left. He could feel it. He can feel it. So it's something that will continue to work. Obviously, we got very fortunate on the second one because we had a long run on 3rd down. They got us back the first down, but it's something I know he's working extremely hard on, and each and every week. It's gotten better with the new technique, and we'll continue to work it and try to end the faults.
Are there any particular things that you guys did tonight that you feel like you can carry over into the next week?
I would love to be able to run the ball and play action like we did. It set up explosive plays and over 500 yards of offense. I just thought our players did a phenomenal job tonight of throughout the whole game. I thought there was great communication about what was going on, what we're getting to next. And a great sense of poise, and they were feeding off each other. It was really cool. It was cool to look up and see them dancing at the beginning of the 4th quarter. It was a lot of fun, and we even in that locker room we all let out a huge scream all together, just letting out a bunch of frustration and really breaking through tonight. I think as a total team. Now we got to continue that for the rest of November. We put ourselves back in position that the South is wide open. Everybody seems to got 3 losses, so we'll keep on going.
Let's do one more. Christian, you guys were able to get big stops. Oregon State was moving the ball some tonight. You guys were able to come up with big stops when you needed to. What led to that?
I'd say tackling, definitely getting the ball on the ground. Guys staying in their gaps, doing their assignments. That was a big emphasis. Last week we looked at the tape and we saw that guys were jumping out of their gaps, not doing their jobs, acting really out of character. And so I'd say as a front, we really took the responsibility for that and was able to stop the run and be able to, get it done.
All righty, guys. Safe travels home. We'll see you next